is the moment you've been waiting on. Once again, they back. The Just Us Show. Y'all know what we do if y'all love them. Y'all know what we do if y'all hate them. But whatever you do, let's get this line of communication open. We got some things to talk about, y'all. Let's go.
Welcome. You're now tuned into another episode of the Just Us Show.
What's going on, everybody? This is Woody.
It's your boy Mike. What's pop?
So we're back after a long hiatus.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So let's go ahead and jump into it. We had a tweet go out by one of the members. Mike sent a tweet out,
1/3 of the Just Us Show,
courtesy of the Just Us Show, about Deontay Wilder and
him ducking
his
Anthony,
shenanigans.
Yeah, ducking Anthony Joshua.
So let's go ahead and jump into that because there was a lot of buzz and a lot of feedback off that tweet.
Yeah.
So my whole purpose of why I put that out was due to the fact that this man has been pandering to the black disenfranchised youth to keep them entertained and then to use them to keep him relevant as he ducks Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
All right. And I think basically what I was trying to say was this man even told Anthony Joshua to rip off his Africa tattoo because he wasn't black and he wasn't a true warrior.
Okay.
So how does he know he's not black?
Right.
I think he was trying to say that due to this man's English
or due to his
British
complexion,
background, the way he talked. And I think this also goes around the realm of how he even tried to emphasize, like, because this man is almost like acting like a gentleman, or he uses 3-syllable words, unlike himself.
So because he has proper English,
Right, almost as if like black
he doesn't
people
speak
need to
broken
be
language and is
still focused on the negative connotations
Okay.
of our
he used to
race.
smoke weed though. So
And
Anthony Joshua was a pothead
he
before he
was
started
past a
boxing.
pothead. According to Dylan White, this dude was literally a true thug who basically changed his life around and realized what he wanted to do in life and then actually admitted to it. Deontay Wilder, and I think this also goes around the realm of a lot of these black celebrities, whenever they're looked bad upon in the media, they use us to actually have their back and to keep them relevant.
Okay. So it's basically one of them things, if the world can turn its back on me, as long as my people are there, I'm good.
Right, but
Okay.
you just turned your back on your
Us
people.
against the world.
Right, but you just did it. You've been using them, the bomb squad, selling your T-shirts, talking about how you're a heavyweight champion, how everybody's ducking you, using the black platform, and then now basically, as soon as you have a chance to become an undisputed heavyweight champion of the
because
world,
unify and get all the belts.
Right, because I think right now, I know I know Joshua has either 3 or 4 belts, and Wilder has the other one.
Yeah, Joshua has the majority of the belts.
Right. So you're right. Fighting Joshua would only benefit the Bronze Bomber, and if he were to beat him like he says he would be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. There's no one else in his vicinity.
Nobody fucking with him.
stop injecting race into this shit. I'm tired of these celebrities doing it. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm talking
Well,
about.
but I mean, in boxing,
I
we've
wouldn't even
seen
say
this.
it's just celebrities. It's black people in general who do
Right.
that shit. Period.
Right, but I'm saying we've
Right,
seen
you're right.
this a lot,
Absolutely
though.
right.
We've seen this a lot in boxing. I mean, remember Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier? You remember those remarks where Muhammad Ali was talking about Joe Frazier being a gorilla and this and that, and he even had the people in Africa against Joe Frazier. You know, so
Yeah, but he didn't question his blackness though. That's
And
different.
Joe
That's just
Frazier
talking shit about somebody.
he did, he had the likeness of a gorilla.
He did look like him.
yeah, but still,
It's just
is this just fight speak or is this legit?
No, what he was doing, and the fact is, you can't. The way he was so passionate about using this race card this whole time,
Right.
and then to get to this point and be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't care about races. I don't. He literally said it's not about my fans. It's really about what I want. You've been using this whole black people are only people that are actually following him and keeping him relevant. Nobody cares about Deontay Wilder. Lowest pay-per-view numbers. That means only black people are buying this man's fights.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. Nobody's bombing. I've never seen a white person walk around with a bomb squad shirt, man. You've been using disenfranchised black people.
Well, maybe
Last
not
fight,
here.
though,
I'm sure around where he's
the numbers
from, there's a
were up
lot, but
because of Fury.
Right. Oh, they were.
Of course, because I was at the fight. There were so many British people there. Like there was.
What I was trying to get to is that these black celebrities in a lot of these situations are reigniting racial tensions with black people to keep themselves relevant. For example,
but see, that's the thing. When we all know as black folks, we know there's always been that kind of black racism amongst black people.
Well, not
it's
just-
just not hasn't. It
It's
just
the-
really hasn't really been national news.
The brown paper bag trick is basically what it is.
Right.
Wait, I'm not aware
You
of
know
this.
the brown bag?
No.
This, for instance, my wife's family is from South Carolina, but a lot of them are real light skinned.
Yeah.
She's not. So they always look down on her, and some of them
Right.
would take a brown bag. If you weren't as light as that bag or lighter, then you're
This is-
a monkey, basically.
This is a thing?
Yeah. My father's. Well, my mom is from Louisiana. My dad's from Alabama. It's the same thing, man. They got all kinds of different colors, shade. Like my dad's family, they're primarily light skinned. My mom's family, they're primarily dark skinned. But yeah, it was that same thing. That brown paper bag stuff. That
you know
whole
when light skinned people
Right.
was in, and come
Right,
on.
so, okay.
Right,
okay.
you know,
That is true.
good hair, good skin, good eye. You know, all that.
And that's what I'm saying. These celebrities it's like our black celebrities are like continuing us to like
Perpetuating the bullshit.
Right. Think about it. It started from like I'm gonna be real. I love the movie to death, but Kid and Play. You remember Kid and Play?
I remember
House Party.
House Party.
Yeah, House Party. You remember that dude? Who was the actual dirty one of the group? Now I'm not talking about just Kid and Play.
Right.
You had the
Play-
light
Bilal.
skin.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about Bilal. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Kid.
but at a Kid and Play, right.
The dirty kid was the more honest, innocent one,
Right,
and
right.
Play was the creep, the
the
hustler, the slick.
I didn't have sex with her because I didn't have a condom. You telling me you didn't bust her drawers because you didn't have a condom?
And even the females were like that too.
Tisha Campbell came
Yeah.
from a very nice
Yeah, right.
household.
And she was
the
the
dark
one-
one was
Cindy
from
came
the
from the hood.
And she was the one they didn't want. They
Sheree
both
came
was
from
both
the-
after
Right.
Sheree. Yeah, they
Exactly.
was both after Sheree.
So you have those things. You have
Shireen.
even
Right.
that movie with Morris Chestnut and other light skinned brother with the like how like it's just always a dark one is basically more evil, lighter the better, and then we have to deal with that bullshit from our own people that we call pillars in our society. Then you got people like Deontay Wilder saying shit like, to this day, we've been fighting for equality. Bro, you sitting there with a $1 million chain on.
You're rich
and-
as fuck. You have no
in a
regular
Gucci
black people
dress.
problems.
Yeah.
So you're living. So basically, it's almost like you have people trying to, almost killing themselves to get to this country to live, despite what they look like or their nationality, background, things of this nature. And you keep having these same celebrities igniting this black. It's not great for us. It isn't. I'm not going to say things are fair, but you're basically making us re-emphasize on slavery and basically how it's so bad and how there's no chance for us. So basically, we're going to speak for you. We're going to basically create this society for you. So it's literally they're creating this world where everything is always racially based. And then when they get to a point when they no longer need them, like Deontay Wilder just did, then it's I don't know what you're talking about. I never said those things. I don't.
Well,
need,
not only racially based, like you were saying, and pigment based, you know, but color, but like you were talking about earlier, the way you talk, the way you act. If you don't act, you can be black as night, but if you don't
If you
talk
don't have
and,
a twang or an accent of some sort from either East Coast, California, or down south,
Right.
you are not black at all.
Yeah, don't be using no 3-syllable words in the hood, man.
I mean, but you know, it's funny. It's like
How was-
like the movie last year. What was it? Thank you for your service. Whatever it
Yeah.
was. Where
Have
they
a nice
had
day.
they had to
Have a
have
nice
the
day.
right. They had to have the white voice and stuff.
The
The
phone
business
voice, every
you know.
black. I ain't gonna say every black person, but
Right.
I got a phone voice.
we got the
Right,
job
yeah,
interview
we-
voice. The
yeah,
job
yeah,
interview voice.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's
they
one
don't
of the
think you
things
crazy for it.
that we
Right. That's,
and you know what? It's for some reason that speaking from the hood or whatever. For when it comes to black people, minorities, and you know, it's considered a sign of ignorance or not uneducated. But I've seen white people that have the biggest Southern drawl, and you know they're running for president or governor or whatever, and nobody cares
Because they're
about
a good
them.
old boy. It's
Right,
they're
right.
supposed to sound like
and you're from the South through media, and if you're a black, dark-skinned black person from the South, you're pretty much screwed.
you are uneducated and a thug.
But also,
We've seen the movies,
right?
you know
But
what I'm
also,
saying?
you gotta. There's this thing too, what was perpetrated primarily by the media, Hollywood, whatever. But anytime you see someone in a movie and they're supposed to be educated, what's the common denominator? They all have an English accent. Like if they speak in an English accent, they're considered the smart one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
more
it's been
than
created.
right, more than someone who's Southern, more than someone who
They're
speaks,
dignified.
Right.
They're regal.
Right.
Type
Right.
royal.
Right. But all I'm saying is, let me break it back down, is we need to hold these celebrities accountable
you're
for
right,
their
you're right,
actions.
you're right.
Fuck what they're saying, how they're trying to race bait you and all that so you can continue to put money in their pockets. Just leave it alone. Honestly, they're about to release another civil rights movie. Like, how many of these do we need? Like,
Yeah, it's
getting to a point, and these are pillars of our communities. Like Oprah releases civil rights movies, slave movies. Yet then you take that money and then you get a tax write-off by creating schools in Africa where basically your whole career started in a city in America.
Right.
So how do you race baiting yet not helping the race? You keep talking about how bad the problems are, but I'm not even saying financially. You're not even speaking upon the violence in which you came from. As soon as you got out, it was done. I no longer need you. But I do need them dollars.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm going to make sure that I keep you in this mind state to make you think that everything is race-based.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, race stokes the fire more than
it for
most
everything.
things.
And to switch off a little bit off of the Joshua Wilder comments, like I was saying with the R. Kelly shit, when you got people saying Woody Allen and Elvis and some other white dude married young girls or was having sex with young girls, to me, it's like what are you trying to justify? This nigga fucking around with little girls?
Right. It's like someone saying,
well, they did it, so how come we can't do it and get away with it?
right. It's like someone saying, well, OJ. Who cares if OJ killed Nicole Brown Simpson?
Ted Bundy.
What about Ted? Yeah, you know, like okay, so they're
kill us all the time.
all guilty.
Okay,
they're all
wrong is
guilty.
wrong.
You know.
So don't try to, and that's the old part. You even have us associate like we need to save these black men. Like no. First
You
of all,
think R. Kelly gives a fuck about these motherfucking fans?
Right. Right.
We saw the Gayle King video. You know, I mean, clearly that man did some horrible shit. His whole demeanor was it was way off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that fucking video was good enough. Ain't no way in hell if you saw that video that you did not think that was R. Kelly.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, we know.
Yeah,
Unless he got a body double twin somewhere that they...
No, man.
Yeah.
He even had swag and all. Not that I was that in depth into the, but I've seen enough of his videos to kind of know. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, man. We need to actually hold these people accountable despite their race.
But you know what?
Honestly,
speaking of the R. Kelly, I'm just going to jump on this real quick and jump off. The fact that R. Kelly made videos and stuff like that for his documentation
his
or whatever shows the fact that he either really thought he was untouchable or he thought he was untouchable, didn't understand that what he was doing was wrong, or it was just like even if this shit is found out, it don't matter because you don't do shit like that if you know it's wrong and you know this shit can come back against me.
Right.
You don't do that shit.
If you have a narcissistic personality, then
right,
yes,
I can get away with it. And the problem with Woody Allen, those are totally different. First of all, I wouldn't look at a Woody Allen sex tape. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I'm not even trying to see no shit like that or Elvis. But they don't have it. There's no documented proof. You have them being around them. You can say that they're rumors. Yeah. There's no in this case, there's documented proof.
Yeah.
So you can't basically put them on the same scale. But reason
it's become race.
Yeah,
it's because this white dude got away with it, then we should be able to get away with it.
People need to stop reading fucking memes, man. You can't just use memes as education for what's going around.
Social media is educating people nowadays.
That's crazy how
that's where people get their education
how a picture with 14 words on it can distort your whole view of race, sexual abuse. This is it's absolutely crazy. Take these people, I don't give a fuck who they are, what they've done for you, how they inspire your life. Take their artwork and keep that, but hold the person accountable.
Critical thinking is on its way out the door.
I think
Nobody now with shit coming so fast and people's attention spans being so fucked up, they're unable to think for themselves. To stop, slow everything down.
Well, to think for yourself is hard.
And then think.
Yeah, it's hard, and it takes an outlier. It
effort.
takes someone to go against the grain and say, "Wait a minute, this is not right." It takes that. So, but I mean, you can do it. You just got to start this. If you see something's wrong, start the discussion in the other way. You know, don't just go along with everything else or be like, "Well, hey."
But it's too easy to go along. It's too easy to be part of the crowd and not want to stand out.
You're right. But I mean, it's just that whole thing. Like, you know, like I've told the story before when I was in school. You know. And our teacher posed us with the question, if you had all the money in the world, you can do anything you wanted in the world, what would you do? And a class of 15, 20 people, however many it was, everyone in there, oh man, I would give to charity. I would do what I can to stop world hunger and stop world wars and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what you say. But in reality, there's enough billionaires in the world to really do that kind of stuff, and no one does it because when when you have it, you don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for everybody to say, do the right thing. But when you're in a certain position, not everyone does the right thing.
And I think you have to be conditioned. You're right. I think you have to be conditioned mentally to actually be able to think of these things despite what's going on. For me to learn, it's hard, really. Just think about studying that. Or I think that's basically in the culture we grew up in. Everything's so easy bake oven fast. Like it's just there's no reason for you. For example, I think it started with the remote control for television. Y'all remember? I remember having to get up from the seat.
Go click the rotary box.
So you had the decision. I'm gonna watch this, man. I'm gonna have to watch.
I gotta stand here and turn this motherfucker down.
Right.
And if you was tired, you fucked up with the channel. Like, oh snap! Yeah, that's what you was watching.
Yeah.
But now, just think about it. Somebody hands you a remote, said, "Hey, man, you have a choice. You can go up there and apply effort."
You're in control.
Or you can actually make it convenient to where you really don't have to put effort into what you want.
It's you're in control, and then it's also question everything, but don't ever take a stand.
Right.
Question everything, but just don't ever take a stand. Like if you're studying, if you're in college and you're studying, it's easy to be like, why the hell am I doing this? Why am I trapped in this system that's making me study? And why,
Right.
It's easy to do that instead of like, nigga, just study and get the grades and move on. If you want to make the change, make the change. Get through this hurdle first, then make the change. But it's easy for us to, what they say, when you think too long, what was it? What's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? When you basically paralyze yourself because you're thinking so much. But regardless,
right?
Maybe
I get the imagery. Long, study wrong.
Well, that's the hood version of it.
Basically.
But I mean, it's just there it is. Paralyzation by analyzation, whatever.
Okay.
I guess that's it. But anyways, that's what we do.
I like
and if you're just sitting there questioning everything,
you just learn that.
You'll never. No, I've heard.
Right.
You'll never be able to make progress and do anything. That's kind of the where we are. The control. You want the controller, and you want to question every goddamn thing.
And that transition, whatever you do, you lose. If you basically are going to fast food, you will lose the ability to cook for yourself.
Yeah.
With everything that becomes easy, that is given to you, you're going to lose something.
And it's basically evolution. As shit gets easier, people behind us don't know how to do shit.
Right.
So
because it's phased out.
It's control. It then becomes controlled evolution, and then that's the scary part, because if I can actually create your present, I can predict your future.
Yeah.
That's real. I don't think people actually see that.
Yeah.
So if I'm basically controlling memes and Facebook's controlling what they put up there, and they're liberal and they're doing all this, and they're only allowing certain things to be shown, eventually, if everybody's getting the same information, I bet
like-minded opinions.
But it's also a misappropriation of technology, and advancement. What I mean is this: everything that we do, the microwave, the cell phones, all that easy access stuff, that's all really was created for the working business class, the working class. But we've we've adopted it into our everyday life. What I mean is this: microwave is for you to heat up food at work because you don't have a stove and an oven and things at work. So you bring these little microwave meals and you eat them at work. Cell phone, hey, I'm away from the home, so if you guys need me in an emergency, I have a cell phone or a pager for you to get a hold of me. Nowadays, every kid has a cell phone. Everyone uses the microwave. Kids we teach babies to use the microwave because it's easier. It's convenient for them.
Right.
Which in reality, at home, you should be cooking meals. At home, there should be a home phone. And I know niggas is losing their mind right now.
Phone, but I fucking hate it. I don't use it.
Right. Because think about it. Right. I still have one too. But think about it.
And then it's always ringing.
Yeah.
It's always somebody else calling for somebody else. Look,
You're right.
Because I've had that number for the past 4 years. It's always some white people from Sun City or somewhere else fucking calling that number.
You're right. But
it ain't mine.
But think about it like this: as a father, both of y'all as fathers, when you're away from home in a perfect world, when you're away from home, if you want to get a hold of your wife or your kids, you should only have to call home to get a hold of them. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You shouldn't have to be like, well, they may be out doing this, maybe out doing that, maybe out.
Yeah,
That's
you call
not
them at
the
home,
purpose
and
of
if they're not home, then you can call the cell phone.
Right, but I'm saying you should be able to call your house and they answer at home.
If somebody's
Nowadays,
home.
you can call somebody and they can answer from wherever the hell they are, and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean is,
yeah, what do you mean with that?
Yeah, I see you there. Yeah.
Basically, what I mean
think
is
it's because you wanted to push that misappropriation word you just.
Misappropriation of technology. That's my
Yeah.
phrase I'm sticking with. But I'm just saying, like, that's the way it should be. As a family unit, if you're away from the house, as the man of the house or the woman of the house, whatever family member is away from the house, they should be able to call home and somebody in the family be there to answer. So we know my family is at home where they should be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But nowadays, that's not the way the world is.
No.
We can be located wherever we are. You know what I'm saying? So there is a disconnection of the family unit.
But it's weird. It's a disconnection, but it's a very big connection. It just seems almost artificial.
No, we're connected more.
Exactly.
But
It's
less,
crazy.
you know.
It's crazy how that goes. Like I said, the easier it gets, you're going to lose something on the other back end of that.
You're right.
But what this all boiled down to
Yeah.
is your man Deontay Wilder was ducking. All right, we got it.
Yeah, we got back to it.
But the man was ducking, bro, and pandering to black people, bro. And I'm tired of every celebrity doing that, man. Like, stop. I mean, honestly, or just stop listening to celebrities. Stop taking their words of advice. They don't know
like,
you or give a fuck about
like
you.
Charles Barkley said, I'm not your kid's role model.
Yeah, I'm not a role model. Yeah.
And people got mad at him.
Yeah, and he's actually telling
not-
the truth. As a parent, you should be your kid's role model
Right.
or deciding how the fuck they do shit in life.
Right.
Yeah, your kid's sick. What you gonna call Barkley?
Little Jimmy got in school. Hey, Chuck, I need you to come take care of my. Talk to him. Talk to him,
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know
fuck you
this
supposed to do?
motherfucker. And that's the old part, man. We need to stop praising so much, man. Take their artwork, separate the person from what they're giving you. You're paying
Or
for right.
tell them it's break down entertainment from life.
Right. That's
Yeah,
the main point.
You
right
gotta
there.
separate those.
If your family understands the way
Right.
reality versus fiction and entertainment, then they're less susceptible to
Right, exactly.
falling for traps. you know?
Deontay Wilder does not have to live the life you live. Why would you be listening to advice from this man?
Yeah. You're
Right. It's not
You're
like
right.
he's like he learned something.
And when he wins a belt and when he wins money, you get none of that.
No.
You get none of that.
No,
you
he did it for us though.
I've never went to the store. I've never went to the store to get something and spent pride.
You know what I
I never. You know what? You know what? Obama is president. Let me get that big screen
me
on
spend
my
this
pride.
pride.
Like, hold up,
Let me spend my melanin on this.
Right. I've never been able to do that, man. That's not a thing.
President's black. I should get some free shit.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody got nothing for it.
And that's the thing too. Like, why does that? Why does that happen, man? Why do when we see somebody, why do we always want shit for free? Why is that like the first emotion? Like, oh, my man right here owns the business, free shit. That don't make no sense.
It comes straight from that same mentality. It's like I'm conditioned to think like, hey man, he knows he's black, so he knows the struggle. Because he's black, he had to come from the same place I came from, so he should be able to empathize with me wanting something for free. Or for
Right,
that's
but
just how it goes, bro.
You don't want him back where you at. So if he keeps giving you free shit, then he's gonna be right back with you. You know,
That's still part, man.
it's like Hammer and all his boys. You know how that's
That
Eventually, I hope one day
Wonder
we
what
can
they're all
actually get
doing
past the color thing.
who knows,
Who?
man. All them dudes that used to ride with
That's a
Hammer.
whole
Yeah,
nother-
yeah,
that's
it
a whole
is.
nother
Yeah.
fucking lane.
It is.
So let's get on to the next one. Parent love. You had a good question, Woody, about. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
I did. I was watching something the other day, and I'm gonna throw it out, man. I was watching The Real. Okay, The Real. Don't Mike. Hey, I see that
I
face.
just said.
But I was watching The Real.
Okay.
But
Nothing wrong
anyway,
with that.
and they was.
feminine side.
Hey,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
it is-
I watched
it
The
is-
View
it
at
is
one
what it is.
occasion.
It is. There you go.
I
But,
got the OWN network.
It is what it is.
I'm lying like a motherfucker.
but they were talking about like parents and stuff, like being faithful to your parents and this and that, and being grateful. Grateful is the word they were talking about. And somebody on there was saying, well, yeah, you should always respect your parents because they gave you life and stuff like that, right? And at first notion, when you hear that, you're like, yeah, you're right. They did give you right. They did give you life. That's speaking in a quote unquote normal situation, meaning parents have a child, raise a
They
child,
stay together and raise a child.
teach a child. Right. That's what that's speaking. So in that, yeah, I understand it. But we shouldn't get so twisted to think just because someone had you, they automatically deserve
your respect
the king
and love.
spot or queen spot of love. Right. Because we know some people who we've come from
Oh yeah.
haven't
So
treated
let's go
people the
out there.
best.
Like, there's
Yeah,
no
bring it.
secret. I grew up with a single mother, and I have zero respect or love for my father.
Biological.
Yeah, John Roy. I hate that mother. I
Reason-
honestly hate that.
And
guy.
I saw it in your eyes. Like,
And the
that's
only reason
all.
why I say biological because I know you had other people in your life, whether it be older brothers
Yeah.
at a certain time or your mother,
Brothers,
that
uncles.
that were the father. That's why I say your biological father. So that's all.
And I understand that point because you can't, for somebody who didn't do shit for like 90% of your life, why would you give them that love and respect?
Right.
It takes more, like they say, it takes more than what they say to be a man.
Yeah.
What's the shit?
I saw it in the Malcolm X movie. Right. It takes
Just because you
DNA or something.
you bust a nut doesn't make you a
Right.
father.
Right.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't celebrate that busted nut forever. You know, we shouldn't. We really shouldn't. You know.
Well, I mean, to like, okay, I can understand what you're saying. In your case, yeah, I think, but in most people's cases, to some degree, if whoever was around you as a child,
Right.
where you could not fend for yourself.
Well, I
where
will
you-
say this: not whoever was around you, whoever was around you and took care of you. Right.
Because there's plenty of parents who are there, but
Right.
the kids is just fucking be in the street walking around
Yeah.
in
Right.
diapers and shit, and nobody knows what the fuck they
Even in that case,
They deserve respect.
Let me finish. Somebody had to return that baby to that same house.
Yeah, that person who returned them should get some respect.
No, wait, hold on.
Matter of fact, that person who returned them should probably
What?
take them away and
I think honestly, we owe the people that taking care of us at least to the point where they themselves become children again. And what I mean by that, I don't mean to offend by anybody by that statement, but you realize as a person gets older, you start noticing that they have kind of like the same type of
yeah. Eventually, you do turn back into a child
diapers
who's-
come back out.
who's actually you're just a smarter child.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases where you can't fend for yourself,
Right.
you owe the people that were around you and took care of you to some degree that much. See, for example, if I was in a situation where my family didn't really give a fuck about me, right, to where I literally had to hustle for myself at a very young age, at least I had a roof, not many meals every day, things like that. And you know that I could say, you know, I have no reason to talk to y'all.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Until the day you no longer can take care of yourself because you at least got me here to the point where I am now
if they
aware.
provided some sort of support, not
Right.
just financially, just emotionally, just being there for you, then yeah, they deserve that
Right.
respect and that love. But
Yeah,
if they
support and
were
care, yeah.
an absentee fucking parent, fuck them.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Or if they were there but yet didn't take the time to take care of you and were too busy drinking and fucking off and doing what
Right. Let you basically raise
too
yourself.
busy
Like, you know.
them living like they're single with no kids while you in the house taking care of your fucking siblings, then they don't deserve shit.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No,
Right.
they don't.
You're
I
right.
don't think so.
I agree with that.
But hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. All right. The thing about this, you're a responsible, young, black, successful person. Without that strife, you wouldn't
you're
be
saying
who
that
you are. So once again, this-
Everything that happens to you makes you who you are.
right?
So I get that.
Exactly. So if listen to what I'm
So
saying.
should I say thank you, Dad, for being an asshole? I mean,
No, I'm saying though.
Right.
I mean, I can honestly say that I thank him for being so much of a piece of shit that I knew not what to be.
Boom.
But I don't love you, and I don't give two. He could, like I tell my brother this all the time. He could die tomorrow. I wouldn't give two shits.
Okay. Now I agree. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 'Cause I think it happens a lot in black homes, right? And I think that hate a lot I can understand where it comes from, man. Like somebody just left you assed out to figure out life. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I always refer back to this shit I saw on National Geographic. I know, like, we want to think of ourselves as being higher than animals.
Higher beings, right?
We're not.
We're not. We eat shit
We're
and sleep,
very
right?
similar.
Right.
But there's this beach,
We
right?
can rationalize. That's it.
Where all these turtles go to mate and then they lay the eggs.
And then they leave.
Then every parent leaves.
Mm-hmm.
On that same beach is a bunch of predators.
Waiting for them babies to come out,
Right.
Okay.
and they snatch them up.
But then there's the ones.
That make it through.
Right. What did that what does that kind of say to you? I'm not saying he deserved the respect of somebody like, hey, I need to give him a #1 dad mug or something like that. But the fact is, you're here. You basically were one of the eggs on the. You were left. You were left.
That goes back to thank
But
a motherfucker for busting a nut. I can't
Right,
do it.
right.
No, and what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact is, there has to be some point where you gotta look. I personally, I've told my parents that I actually don't give a fuck about labels. I don't care about calling you mom. I don't care about calling you dad because I know for a fact that you were a person before I ever gave you that label.
Okay.
You were you, and you were that.
Right.
Everything right. So those labels are basically given to them by us, and then we hold them to a label that's already been pre-created before you got here. Your idea of dad was given to you.
I never had no fucking idea of that.
We saw the Cosbys,
I guess so.
and then
I never really thought that was. I never thought that was real.
Right. I'm not worried. What I'm
Right.
saying is, you had some idea of what a dad should do. He should be here supported.
Yeah, he should be some.
Right. So I'm not
some
saying
capacity.
right to some capacity, and I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, the animosity that's created in a lot of black households, I think it's forgotten. Because the truth of the matter is, even my dad said the same thing. My dad, same way, didn't grow up with his father at all. I mean, and his dad said some heinous shit, like straight up did his own thing, just left him assed out. I remember he used to tell me like, "Hey man, I don't even know how I got here. Literally, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and I got to this mindset. I was like, bro, before you were you, your dad was himself. How do you know what he went through? Not saying giving him an excuse for his behavior, but you're putting him into a box, and before you put him in that box, he was still another human being that may not have been able to take care of the things that he may have not been able to measure up to the picture in which you created a father should be."
Right, but what about his mother, who stayed and took care of not only him but him and his
she should get
brothers?
the straight up praise. I'm saying is the hate should actually dissipate. That's what I'm saying, because truth of the matter is, you have think about this. I said you're black, young, got money in your pocket, got great kids, you have a loving wife, you have a loving mother. Without his existence, you wouldn't have experienced any of it.
Well, but I don't see what he's displaying.
I'm
as
not
hate,
sure.
though.
I'm not saying
it's not hate. It's
he used the word hate.
I did use the word
well,
hate, but
right, but
maybe
it's more indifference. It's not
like I would like kill that motherfucker. Like I hate.
Oh,
black
okay,
people.
okay.
It's like I don't give two shits.
Yeah,
like,
the opposite
he
of
could literally
love-
die tomorrow, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, the opposite of love is indifference,
Right,
not hate.
all right.
He doesn't have hate for him. If he
Okay.
had hate, he'd be like, I'm gonna go track him down and kill him.
So this doesn't apply to you, but does apply to other brothers that
Right.
literally have that. If I catch this brother, he catching one.
Yeah, I don't have that. No, it's not like that.
But there's a lot of black men.
Well, but I can understand where the hate can come from, though.
Right, exactly.
I understand the hate can come from if you're a young person and you found yourself caught up in things that have ruined your life from a
Right.
young age or from the get go, and you had a parent or parents that didn't care about you. I can understand hate because you're like, look, now my shit is fucked up because of what you did. Vaughn is different. He took a bad situation and made his situation great.
Right.
So yeah, there's no hate towards that. But is it wrong to hate someone who pretty much put you in a bad position?
Word.
Because
What I'm saying is also though,
they didn't do what they should have done.
I know
Don't hold a grudge. Don't carry it to where your life is fucking ruined.
that's what I'm
Thinking
trying.
about-
Right. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
It's
is
further
this. What I'm saying is this.
Right,
Just say it's a different situation. Just say Von's dad taught him how to be a hustler, gangster, sell crack, whatever. That landed him in jail, where by the age of 19, he was doing life in prison.
Right.
In prison, if he said he hated his father, I could understand that.
Right.
It's because he could be like, look, my life, I don't even know what my life could have been, because all I knew
'Cause you never
from a
had
young age,
a
all I
chance.
knew was what my dad taught me. I looked to my father for guidance, and he guided me down this
So
shithole.
how was? But then I think we also have to take into account that not only this person. I'm not trying to give excuses.
But
for
I
people.
get what you're saying. The whole asshole was who he was before, and basically saying don't expect much from somebody who wasn't shit to begin with. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, basically. But at
But
the
the way I
same
look at
time,
this is, he had a father in his life. His father was there. He had two parents. In
all right,
the
that's
house.
okay. That's fucked
And he
up.
still
All right,
chose
yeah,
to
okay,
be a
that's
piece of
okay.
shit.
All right, that's fucked up. All right, all right.
But to your point,
That is
playing
what-
devil's
right,
advocate,
but it- wait.
playing devil's advocate, it was better for his father to leave shit alone than to put his hands in and fuck it up.
And
Right.
me and my brother always have this discussion. Was it better for me not growing up with him, or him having him around and dealing with the disappointment on multiple occasions?
Man, that is some real shit.
I just had
and
to
that's
look
what
from
I'm
afar,
trying.
and he had to be there with the shit.
He was with the dad.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
with our grandmother. And
who was connected
Yeah.
to the father. And how did he turn?
good.
Great guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, but he wasn't around your dad. He was living with your grandmother.
So he was living with him.
Right.
So
But
what
he was kind of going in between, and then
right. So he
His own
just
thing.
kind of like basically, this is
It
my
was-
second family over here type thing. Like I'm cool with this. This is too much over
Well,
here.
he was living with our dad, and then he would go back to his mom, and then he'd come back and live with him. And then he saw the fuckery firsthand.
Right. Okay.
Whereas me, I'm from a distance. I'm only really remembering certain shit and getting more stories about what did happen.
Right. And he saw it firsthand, and he understood. Like, yeah.
It took him longer to kick him to the side than it did me because I have no connection. I have no emotional connection.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of, and the fact is, you don't. At the same time, like you just said, you just have an indifference. That's what a lot of black men need to embrace.
Right, as
Because-
long as their actions don't directly cause your life to be shit,
Right.
I get it.
But think about
But
the-
if their actions directly cause your life to be messed up, if you hold a grudge, so be it.
We need to get to a point where we start really like literally. It's of course it's a person's own responsibility for the choices they make.
Right.
Period. But then think about like even me. I think y'all both. Well, you know me, but you knew me especially when I came straight in.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
that is all influenced by, like, I wasn't really, me and my dad really didn't see eye to eye. So I literally was taking care of myself at a very young age, right?
Right.
So then you basically, I mean, of course, I had a roof over my head. Yeah, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But my whole shit was trying to understand who I was through shit I saw from the outside by people that looked like me. And when you start looking at the media, where I say these same pillars of our community, you got Return of the Mac. You got all these rappers talking about like what you need to be doing is trying to find a hole to with the baddest chick to then
Yeah.
drop
I
it.
hear you,
but
yeah.
they're not telling you the consequences of
Yeah.
it
Right.
Telling you get a hustle, but not telling you what's gonna happen at the hustle.
at the end of it. So I'm saying is to a degree for black men and what's going on now. I think there has to be some type of understanding. I think that's where it comes with you. I think maybe there's more understanding to where you just kind of understand, hey, that's just what it is. He created me.
It's like
Right.
I told my brother. I said you can't expect somebody. Lower your expectations.
Oh yeah.
Because if you keep expecting somebody to be something that they're not, you're always gonna be disappointed.
Right, and like truth, man, I told my family I don't give a fuck about labels. Like like you're John, like literally, I'm not going to apply those labels to you anymore. Because truth of the matter is, even my dad was around. Even with your dad around, you can still be looking at this like this is big disappointment. He
Sometimes I
crushed.
think my kids look at me like that, man.
You know what I mean? Mr. Huxtable, you know what I mean? He took his kids to restaurants and made sure that you start applying these things because of these labels. When you got to understand they're a person. That label you apply to them is something you created, what you think they should fold under. Period. So I think in the black community, we have a lot of that. So we're going to get a lot of disappointment based on what we believe a person should be, despite the shit that they had to basically endure before you got there.
Like I can understand, I can understand a father who had some trouble with the law, in and out of jail, but was still at the same time trying to make sure a kid had
connection.
something,
Right.
tried to be there for him,
Right.
and just had some shit going on. I understand that, but when you just choose to be a total piece of shit and just duck all responsibility because you don't want to, you want to take care of it,
Yeah.
then fuck you.
Right. No, I see what you're saying.
And I'm
But we can
moving
go
on.
back in there.
We got I was looking at something. I can't remember what caught my eye, but I kept seeing the word reparations, and then I
Okay.
started thinking. My question is: would it be smart to give black people today reparations? Like personally, to me, I don't think I didn't go through slavery. What the fuck are you giving me this for? What?
Right.
I didn't have to go through the shit they went through. But then again, if you give us the money, how where the fuck how many niggas ain't responsible with money? That's what I'm getting at. The majority of people would blow their fucking money.
Right, and
very few would start a business or invest their fucking money.
Right.
It would be Jordans, rims, and Gucci and whatever tight jeans, whatever the fuck is out, fanny packs, all that shit. That's what the fuck money's gonna go to. They're gonna boost the economy.
Right, and with that being said, I would be skeptical if they said they want to start giving reparations. I would be skeptical because they understand that. They understand I'm giving you this money for you to give it right back. The act was I gave you the money, so you can never complain anymore because we gave all them beatings and the folks
Right,
that got
but now
murdered
you
and stuff,
make con-
make up
I
for the
gave you
fuckery.
this,
And now
if
you've
you
been
fucked it up,
conditioned.
that's on you.
And but it's
But it's coming back to us.
And you've been conditioned you've now been conditioned through your own media, through your own
To
people.
blow your fucking money anyway.
Anyway,
Right.
like,
So that's what I'm saying. I would be skeptical for it.
yeah, I
Now,
would.
if you do give, and I'm gonna throw another one out here. I'm not running for. I promise you, I'm not running for political office.
you
but,
got to look though.
But
You like
there
skin,
should be. There should be. Didn't we just talk about this earlier?
Oh, we did. That's all right.
I ain't no. I ain't Cory
Cory
Booker.
Booker, look.
I ain't gonna,
No, you know.
but there should be no reparations without limitation.
What?
What I mean is this.
Break it down.
Or
bro. Break it.
Or you can
down.
even say there should be no reparation without stipulation.
Oh, Don
You get what I'm
King
saying? You feel
himself.
what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
feel you.
And what I mean is
I feel
this.
you,
What I
though.
mean is this. I wouldn't mind a reparation being something like, if you can go through your life, and I guess that would still be difficult. But if you can go through your life as a minority, as a black man, black person, and you can get to the age of 18, or you can graduate high school with no felonies, your reparation should be full ride scholarship to some college, whatever of your choice, or whatever you can
I agree.
make.
Or like the whole 40 acres and a mule
Right.
concept.
But nothing that you
You
can
should
touch,
be able to
but
get-
it's something set aside for you.
You should be able to get a business or be able to open a business. Easier to get a business loan with no interest for some
Right.
X amount of years.
Right.
Something that's going to help build.
Something gonna set you on the path
upon
of
something.
success, right?
Not you can just blow the shit and it's gone in a fucking month.
Right, and also
While
what
your
I
baby has
mean.
Jordans on and new earrings.
Also, the stipulation for that should be also be
perm.
some kind of financial
Right.
training, meaning before you can even sign your name to this, you have to be responsible enough for this. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Man.
have to have something, or have someone monitor what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds so
because you
nice.
can't just.
The problem
But
is
that's too much work.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But I mean, that's what
But
it should
I
be.
know
Though,
it
you
should
know?
be. I totally agree. You shouldn't just throw
Like
money.
I
to
said,
somebody.
you
just know
can't
that-
just deposit something in somebody's account
Because
and
to
expect them to do the
for
right
example,
thing.
I think they said like 85% of all lottery winners go broke within the first 2 years. So it's like that tells you right then and there you can't just hand somebody
But that's what I'm
millions
saying.
of
That's
dollars.
the scheme. I give out a lot because I know you're gonna give back everything.
What did
It's,
George
it's like
Bush
going.
do?
It's like being in the casino.
What did Bush do? What 7, 8, 9, 10 years
Oh,
ago?
yeah, the-
government stimulus.
Right.
You got a check. First thing you went out and bought some shit.
Then
Yeah.
found out that they just tacked that on to
To
you.
your fucking income tax.
Right. So you gotta repay that shit. Yeah.
People was hurt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they was hurt. Yeah.
So like I
If it
said,
was something like a business loan, something a small
Right.
like just to get yourself going, like
Right.
where you're not dependent on shit.
right.
But then
Yeah, but-
they're not gonna do that,
No,
especially.
'cause then we'll
But
fuck
what
up.
I'm saying is just fresh out of high school, would either one of you have the means to start your own business
No.
and be successful? Because we'd have no connection. We wouldn't know any of that. So that's what I'm saying. There has to be some
I think
kind
that's
of
a
training.
great idea.
There has to be some kind of training to let you
I think
to make you responsible or show you
that money goes to like these inner city schools, and then if they pass with a high school diploma, they're guaranteed a free ride based on reparation.
Well, fuck
Right.
giving them the money.
Yeah,
What about just like you said, give the money to the school, increase these children's education.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dumber they are, the more likely they are to give them after school programs, give them fucking food,
Yeah.
hot water, clean water,
Yep.
without fucking lead in it.
Which is crazy that Flint, Michigan.
it is,
I
man.
mean, side note that's even
Build
still
up
going
these
on.
areas, these inner city areas, so they have access to the shit they need to get to where they can become
And some
productive.
pride into where you live. There's got to be. I think that has a lot to do with it.
There's
Like,
pride is just bullshit pride because it's a fucking hood because somebody just got shot. Well, I'm from that block. Them motherfuckers
Right.
got-
And
Well,
then-
but that's a whole bigger discussion. The
Right.
reason why it's like that,
Right,
It's
right.
because like a lot of places in the hood, like I'm sure y'all heard Master Ace the album. I can't remember which one. I can't remember Slaughterhouse which one, but when he was talking about how the government put us in these cages all around the country, and they did that, back in the 50s and the 40s and stuff, when you had the folks moving from the South, moving to the West Coast, a lot of them moved to places like San Francisco, Oakland, Los Angeles, because they moved there because of jobs. And then the jobs were there, and it's just like everywhere you go, like Pittsburgh, the Steel City. It's because where they made items from steel. Or wherever you go, Dallas, Texas,
Detroit.
oil and stuff, Detroit, Motor City, the vehicles. You had pride in where you were from because that's what you did. But with them taking out the jobs
Then
and
the shit
moving
goes
them
away.
everywhere else, then you leave the foundation. You leave empty, vacant areas
That's
to
like-
just tear each other down.
Vallejo, when I was stationed in California, I had to go to Vallejo for an eye exam. And Vallejo is literally, it was a shipyard where
Right.
they built ships.
Right.
And
San
when
Diego,
they
same
fucking
way.
left, ain't shit, but there's nothing but shacks,
Right.
warehouses,
Right.
and broke niggas and
And you
Filipinos.
and you know what inhabits them things. You know, the
a weird
crackheads,
mix.
the rapists and the prostitutes. That's what inhabits those things because they're there. You know, we don't. That's the problem.
The problem is we can't migrate. Some reason we have this mentality like, how many brothers you know with passports? How many black people do you know who own
actually been on a plane around the country?
Exactly, bro. That and don't even have records. That's a mental thing.
Non-military, it's damn near slim to none.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that's a mental thing. Because truth of the matter is, you need to migrate where it goes. You can't just stand there and hope some. And that's the old part. It's almost like they stay there and they hoped it was coming back. Mm-hmm. That's not the responsibility of that business to give you a job or make sure that's.
Right.
It's like I can no longer make. And the ill part is, I think. Corporate social responsibility. I think that's what we kind of get fucked up with. We kind of think that these places, these companies should be loyal to us.
To look out for our best interests.
But they should, though. They should. Right. That's how they were created, right? That's how they should be. Because we have pride in these, GM, Ford, from back in the day, Jim Beam, Budweiser, all these companies, Philip Morris. We're supposed to be, these companies talk about the pride of their business, and we buy into that. But there's also pride in the people who help create these businesses.
No,
that should be there too.
Those are items. Like they're not
consumables,
right? So I
right, but they didn't start that way though.
No,
they didn't start that way.
No, they
not
did
until the money got big, and then it was let's find cheaper labor so we can make more money.
Exactly, because once a company is a company, for some reason a lot of people literally believe that the company should be looking out for my humane interests. No, it's a company. A company literally. It's called. It's an artificial person. That's the literal term for it.
Their stakeholders is who they're responsible to.
That's it. Not you as a human. So these people need to basically get to that idea. Like this company I work for, Walmart. When people were complaining, it's like Walmart. You thinking just because they have smiley posters and they got these commercials where it runs through fields.
I'm not saying that's how it is. I'm saying that's how it should be.
No, I guarantee. I believe in that.
For instance, you've shared a story about creating a business for individuals who were in need, and then those individuals, if you had pride in them, they didn't have pride in the company, and that's what killed the company. You see what I'm saying? But as a business person, if the company had flourished, I don't see you saying, "Hey, I'm going to change this labor out for something different or something better," or why have 5 people when I can do it with 1. I don't see you doing it. I see you keeping the pride in them as they have the pride in you.
That's due to the fact that I can empathize with
right,
it's
human.
Not. But think about it if it got so big to where I'm hoping that the people under me are doing these measures, but at the same time, all I'm looking at now is numbers. I'm not going to factory to see that guy and see how he's doing. My day consists of numbers and making sure that the company and the stakeholders are good. That's all I'm looking at. So you get these people at the bottom with these horrible supervisors. That's the low tier. They're not seeing that part. So that's the part where I think with a lot of companies, a lot of these places where black people migrated to for these jobs, it almost like it's even with the government. It's almost like we have this idea like the government should be helping me, like they're support. They're here to help me. It's like,
but it should be. That is how it should be.
We're human beings.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's the fundamental basis of the government. The Democrats, Republicans. Hey, we elect someone to who is good on their own to look out for us as their own, but different than a Democrat. A Democrat, we look at someone who we elect who is one of us, who is to look out for us as they look out for themselves. That's the fundamental basis of a government. But we don't do it that way. We turn government to business and everything else.
A caring human being.
Right.
And I think it would be beautiful if these people thought this way. World would be much better. Think about it. Coca-Cola literally.
Right, but it's because we're trained to do that. We're trained.
Right.
Everywhere you turn. I mean, y'all remember in the military, we were trained like, hey, we're phasing all this out. Do more with less.
They phase
that don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense to do more with less. Right. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to help the bottom line of the dollar? Yes. But that's not what it should be about. Yeah. That's what it is about, but that's not what it should be about.
I agree. We're really just talking about the same shit.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you go to business school or something like that, they're going to teach you those things, doing more with less. That mindset should change back to doing more with more people and more assets and when I creating foundations.
As soon as I got to business school, the first thing they told us was CSR, corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
Should a company feel like they should be socially responsible for the people
Yeah.
that work for them.
I remember that too.
And they were like, nah. Basically, it's based on the fact that the bottom line of any company being created is to make money, no matter how it's done. So if it means I gotta get rid of this person, so you're right, you're conditioned. So the titans of industry basically have been conditioned to think this way. They're not thinking about the human being.
No, they're not.
It'd be beautiful if they did.
It
though.
would be. It would be.
All right,
but-
next topic.
You do have that Cory Booker aura,
Man, I'm not look.
even though him and Kamala Harris is.
Okay,
We'll get on.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that.
let's jump into the transsexual acceptance because that seems like something that
Yeah, I was watching something the other day, man, and you know I'm gonna throw it out, man. I was watching this show on Vice called.
Oh,
Well,
I thought you was about
I like
to say.
Vice.
I thought you was about to say like the Oprah Network. or
Nah,
something.
nah, nah.
You
nah.
said the other
I
thing.
mean,
earlier.
if I was, I mean,
I
what's
watch
wrong
that.
with it? What's wrong with
Vice
it?
Women of Maricopa County. I watched that.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching
And
that.
Broward
too.
County. And
Oh, okay, I take that back. Yeah, I watched that.
No, I mean, I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with
nothing
hey,
wrong with
whatever y'all watch out there, own network, whoever, it
I'm
doesn't
just
matter,
teasing it,
Lifetime,
you know what I'm
whatever,
saying?
Logo.
Low-
crickets, but
yeah.
but we get it,
Pushing the envelope,
we
bro.
get it.
We let them have that.
But I was watching this thing called, and check it out, fellas, check it out if you ain't seen it. It's a show called Slut Ever.
I like that show, man.
Okay, well, there was an episode, and there was these dudes, and they were transsexuals, and man,
You couldn't tell.
you could not tell at all, man.
There's one on one of these Love and Hip Hops that if my wife didn't tell me that it was a fucking dude, I'd have been like,
Yeah,
blew my fucking mind.
yeah, crazy, man.
Right.
She spoke. She was speaking at a rally. Yeah, but man, this show, I saw these gentlemen in a room talking with this lady, and you couldn't tell at all. Like the main one that was talking, you couldn't tell that she was born a male.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but to me, it's funny. It's I see a lot of transsexual women or men, whatever you want to call them, on like TV, whatever. Because I don't know if I've ever ran into one in my life. I don't know. Maybe I have. Maybe some people
That's
I've
a scary
interacted with.
thing, man.
It is. But what I'm seeing, it seems like they really get accepted as women from women. Like, there's no offense. It's just, oh yeah, hey, you look like me. You're taking hormones. You done did the plastic surgery. You are a woman. You're a real woman. This is how you were born. Whatever, right? And I was just thinking about that, and I was like, that seems kind of weird to me. Is that the fact that women can accept men who have changed themselves to be women,
Women accept gay dudes all the time.
right?
So I don't think they really see a difference.
Right, black, white, it don't matter. But Rachel Dolezal, however you say her name,
Dolezal.
the one who was white, who said she identified as black, there was a lot of hate for that. Is that similar or is that different? Am I way off on this? What do you
The
think?
black, the actual, if
It's
I,
the racial pride is where you the crossing the line.
seems-
But even like white men, black women seem to accept white men that
they're
are
gay, yeah.
gay.
Because they're gay.
I would be more offended if I was a woman with a man transitioning to be a woman. Because the struggle to be a woman is way more harder. Like, especially being a black woman.
So Kris Jenner should have, like, with Caitlyn, like, is that what you're trying to say?
What you
Like
mean?
a woman married to a dude trying to be a woman.
Yeah, this is.
Were you going that route?
Okay, wait, hold on, bro.
Were you going that route, or were you saying, like,
I think the experience. If I'm a woman,
Right.
and
Born a woman.
I'm empathizing. You see what I'm saying? I'm connecting. All right. If I'm literally born a woman and I'm thinking to myself, think about it. I mean, not even I'm born a woman. Think about what a woman has to go through.
Okay.
Through my dating on this planet, bro. And the older you get, you start talking to a lot of women that go through a lot of like sexual abuse. A lot of
Okay.
that happens at very young age. Truth of the matter is, women mature faster than men. I think part of that is due to they're introduced to sex at a very young age by older men all the time.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Right. So as a man, as a kid, that I think as a boy, you're always trying to find it, and then you always, hope you get to touch it one day. They're getting.
I agree with
offered
that
it
too.
Non-stop, right?
Okay.
So you have a woman has to go through that, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has to go through the fact that she can be taken advantage of by a man physically, even if she doesn't want to offer herself to him. To do all this, to go through that, to basically be, I mean, in a way, maybe shamed for having sex. We don't get shamed for that. All the shit women got to go through.
Okay.
In a way, especially a black woman, you would think that black women would be more offended by this black man trying to be a black woman,
Right.
rather than this white woman basically saying, I want to make my life harder for myself. Really? That's what she just did. She made her life, though Rachel Dolezal didn't actually.
She
Man,
made
I
her
agree
life
with that.
harder
After she-
with black people because white people didn't really know what the fuck she was. So her life,
Except for her parents and her family.
So she wasn't catching slack from them. It was us.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, why would black women then get irritated with Rachel Dolezal saying like, oh man, like she's taking away our I think a part of that this is real. It was how she looked. If Rachel Dolezal was super ugly, I don't think
If
they
she
would have
like,
cared.
Like light skinned chick. They,
I hear what you mean. I hear what you mean.
See what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to that, I think they don't see any. I think black women don't really see a challenge with.
So
this
do you-
man.
so do you
black
think-
women that go for like I don't want to say acting black, but there's white chicks out there that act hood as fuck, and there's black girls out there that fucking adopt them as a honorary fucking.
No.
I've seen it.
You've seen it to a degree. What I'm talking about is they're waiting for that white girl to say that N word. They waiting for it. Like, well, let her hang with us, let her chill.
Yeah,
As soon
that
as
shit ain't coming out.
Right.
But they will accept them and not see them as a white person. Or she ain't white, she black.
Right. So it's like I think there's not a challenge when it comes to this black man trying to be a woman. To them, it's not really a challenge. It's like I can tell, I can accept you.
It's almost like they're cute, like they're a fucking pet.
Exactly. When it comes to Rachel, it's like she's an actual challenge because
She's
not
a threat.
she now has trying to get the same tone, but she now
And
lighter.
she's taking black men. That's
And-
where the problem is.
Exactly.
A transgender black dude, they're not thinking
And if
niggas
he
is going after her.
does, and he does take that black
Then he
man,
gay anyway, so they don't want him.
and they're not. They're like, this guy, he's not.
But let me ask you this:
It's-
what would be the
what's the
scenario?
challenge?
What would be the scenario if a woman, a black woman, born black woman, had a friend who was born a man, which is now a woman? What would the anger be if somehow the one who was born a woman's man slept with the man, the woman who was born a man? What would be
The anger will be with herself. Like, I'm not good enough, or like this is what you had to go to. Like, she's questioning herself.
But if only she knew it was born a
Oh, it's
man,
gonna turn
and
into a joke.
the dude
Right.
never knew. Like, hey, when I met her,
But it's still,
she
the
was a
woman
female.
knows. The woman knows. It's
Right.
like this is.
So you think that's worse, or
I think because it's attacking that woman's sexuality, her being an actual woman. She's like
losing to a white woman is more acceptable than losing to a man, a woman who was
because it's
born a
fucking
man?
weird.
I agree.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Like, you really just basically said, like, yeah, I know you're a woman, but you're just not woman enough. This man somehow was able to enhance. Yo, that is crazy, bro.
But let me
The
ask you.
idea
But let me
is
ask you
not-
this.
I
Let
mean,
me roll
not
this
crazy in a
one.
negative way.
Let me roll this one down your alley. As a man, just say we were all single and dating. If you had a friend who was a lesbian, mannish looking lesbian, young
But
MA
Bull
looking,
decker.
young mom, whatever how you say her
Bull
name,
decker, yeah.
looking woman. If she took your woman, how would you feel?
You would question yourself as a man.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
I don't know if I would.
Oh no, I'd be.
I don't know if I would, man.
No, what?
I don't know if I would.
I'm doing
If
push-ups,
if
bro.
a
pull-ups.
chick with a strap on could take your chick,
You
you're
ain't
not
doing
gonna
something.
at
Okay.
least like reevaluate yourself.
Okay, but let me ask you. So you say without medication, you can compete with a strap on.
Without medication?
Without medication, you can compete with a strap on.
No, I can't.
There you go.
No, but the stroke game's crazy though.
Right, but-
she ain't got the stroke game down. The stroke game's like
Right, but the
50%
stroke
of-
game is only is a limited trial.
You're right.
It's
right.
not a permanent thing.
Right.
Strap on is always ready
But
to go.
let's be real, bro. Let's be real with all that shit. When you like, let's be real. It's a plastic toy. I don't give a fuck how mechanical you make it.
I believe- right, I'm with you.
Nothing's better than skin on
And
skin.
I agree.
Warm. Yeah, you can't beat that. So despite if I literally lose to that, despite how lame my stroke game is, yeah, I'm gonna feel something about myself, bro. I'm for real. Like, she literally picked a piece of plastic over what I can actually offer her.
Because I think a woman would think similar in the same thing. Like, I lost him to a fucking dude who's a woman now.
This isn't.
There's
gonna
gonna be anger.
I can
there's
think
gonna be
about. I
anger
can
at
agree
that
with
person.
that.
there's gonna be anger at the individual, but then you're gonna second guess yourself at the same time.
Wait, you don't agree with my statement? You don't believe that? Like,
I mean,
you wouldn't feel hurt if
I would feel hurt for losing her. I wouldn't feel hurt from why I lost her.
my masculine. Yeah, you just she can
I wouldn't-
out punk you, bro. Like it.
No, she couldn't. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's the security of myself. She can do that, but she can't out punk. She will never be more of a man than I am. Now, if my woman leaves for that, that's her issue. That's something with her. You know what I'm saying? That's something on her. That's nothing to do with me.
You secure as a motherfucker.
We're not competing on that level.
Can you imagine that? Going
We're not
to the
competing on
club
that
and she palming one of your girl's cheeks? Like, you sitting there
She's no longer my girl. That's her problem. That's her issue now.
oh man, you stronger than I am.
Yeah,
Not, like I said, I would be
No,
Listen. I'm not.
Sitting in a bathtub with
I'm not bullshitting. I'm not up here.
pills,
I'm not up
bro,
here trying to be Mr. Hey, alpha male. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, yes, would it hurt me to lose her? Someone, especially if I care for her, yes, that would hurt. But if I lost her to that, I wouldn't. Like, I don't think I concern myself with an uneven playing field. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I think we actually identify with our parts, our gender.
Right, but I'm saying this. Losing her to another male who has the same limitations as I do would hit me worse than losing to something that I can't compete with.
You can spin it because
Right. She like girls.
that's me.
She
Yeah, I
like-
can't
Right.
compete with that
You
shit.
can pretty much say she's fucking gay now. So
Right,
but
right.
another dude, like what the fuck is he doing?
Like he has the same limitations. It's like you. It's like
no,
It's
I
like you
agree.
coming
I
from
would agree
prison.
with that.
It's
But
like
I'm
you
saying
coming
I
from
wouldn't-
prison and your girl saying, "Man, I'm tired of dating with dudes that were ex felons. I'm tired of that shit. Y'all fucking me up." And then she leaves you for another ex felon. You would be like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" But if she left you for a college dude that never got in trouble, then you'd be like, "Damn."
It's
you
more
know.
like what a dude.
I can understand.
You can imagine like. You don't want to imagine it, but you don't want to imagine the dude banging your chick out like, and that fucks with you more versus her
Right.
being with a woman because most dudes watch fucking lesbian porn any goddamn way.
Oh, and I've seen it. It's happened to me. So I understand the feelings that would be evoked in this situation.
It's more of a feeling of like I don't know jealousy maybe I don't like you this dude is fucking my chick like it's like you that's your shit like
Right.
you're possessive
Right.
and now
Men are.
somebody else is fucking tampering with your shit
Right. You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That would hit me more than a female, man. That's just me.
because
But
with
so
the
you think
female
women-
you can just blame her for having
Yeah,
fucking
she's
issues.
like,
Change
look,
her
you know,
sexuality.
She really wasn't ready for
She's
a
going
dude
through a
anyway.
phase,
Yeah, whatever, you know.
with brothers and then it's gonna be.
So if it's another dude smiling
Well, I'm
and
not
shit, looking
saying-
at you
yeah,
because
you're
he
right.
got your bitch now.
I
Yeah,
totally
that's
agree
different.
with that. The severity, but I'm saying that would still bother me to a degree. It would bother me, especially if I can say that to other people to make myself feel good. But if I knew she was actually using a
Well, you
prosthetic
know
limb,
other dudes. Other dudes get real ignorant with that, and they would be talking shit like, "Yo, she left you for a bitch." I mean, come on, Nick. I mean, she left you for another one? I mean, men. I'm just gonna be honest. We would be harsh on a dude.
I would lie. I would literally
Right.
lie. I would just
You
say,
would,
"Oh,
but
man,
deep
that would
down,
be
you'd be
jokes.
like, "Look,
yeah,
man."
that would be." But I would lie though. I'd be like, "Oh man, she likes."
Because my thing is this: if it happened, it can happen to any of y'all too.
But I
'Cause
thought-
none of us, without the aid of medication, can do what that can do. None of us can, you know.
That's true.
So
You better get your tongue game up. That's basically what you got.
hey, my tongue game is HOF
Impeccable.
Hall of Fame, you know.
Impeccable.
But anyway,
Straight up?
but moving on.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes. Let's kind of
Well, all right.
now. Do we want to get like into like
I do want to talk about the.
this real quick? This military thing with the they have a new proposal where
They pay
they're
for your-
forcing you to eat to basically
Right,
if
you
you're
have to
transgender
identify.
you have to identify with your birth sex.
Right.
You can no longer identify with what you think you are.
Yeah, because it wasn't people jumping in just to get the
Yeah.
sex
Yeah.
change and stuff because they were paying for
And
it.
so if you're not fully, what do they call it? Fully when you fucking transition,
Right.
then you have to stop taking hormones and basically be who the
Yeah,
fuck
you know, I agree with that, man. Just goddamn, like, bro, like, just get a new job. Like, if you don't like it, just fucking leave. I don't understand why people have to make other people accept what you fucking think. That's not what America's based on. It's freedom of speech.
You're right.
It's freedom to express myself. Like, so if I have my own business, I don't give a fuck if it's the military or a cookie shop. Literally, it's kind of like I mean, not even like that. It's like basically, if I choose not to accept you as what you accept yourself as, and I'm basing it off of who I am, like even like basically white only type shit. It's like that's their right to do that. Who am I to now force you to now serve me? Because basically, I need to now somehow adopt an idea that I don't truly believe in.
Well, but there's legal terms with that though. That's a little bit more different, but I see what you mean. I see what you're saying.
Right, but in this case, a person that basically, I don't see a problem with that. Like, I think that's actually good. Like, literally. I mean, what I'm saying.
I don't care either way. To be honest with you.
Right. The only issue I would have with it. I'm gonna say the only issue I would have with it is there's when you're a military spouse or you're in a military family. Sometimes sicknesses, things come up with people, and the military it's damn near impossible to get the military to pay for certain things for maybe your spouse or even for yourself. So I understand that. So the fact that it's so hard for you to pay for my spouse's whatever operational whatever, but you can pay for right. That's fine.
Have and marry whoever the fuck, and they take care of them. That's the dependent. Now.
Right.
But what are you saying? Like,
well, I'm just saying the financial part of it. If you're just jumping into the military just to get the surgery, and the military was pushing the surgery and saying we'll pay for it, that's where I have the issue. Because like I said, I know people whose spouses have had issues, medical issues, where they were trying to get the military to pay for it because it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they couldn't pay for it on the military salary, and the military wouldn't pay for it. But now they're paying for people to change
they pay for
their identity
all the time, though.
Right.
Well, they don't pay for it. They just send you and let a fucking young practicing doctor do shit to you.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the financial part. I can care less about how you feel and deal with whatever. You know, that's yeah.
I know a chick that got implants
from the military. This is look, man. Like you join the the purpose of the military.
But she had a deformity though.
Okay, that's different. But the purpose of
That's different than. Oh, but
I don't have a deformity.
But to them, their deformity is mental. Like I'm a woman. I know I look like a man, but I'm really a woman. Like that's
right. How
you take it to the psychiatrist.
I wouldn't cater to that. If you're the military, your job is basically to protect. That's just in some degree. I don't give a fuck. Either you're feeding troops, or you're fixing jets, or you're doing something. Your job is that. Wait till you get out, or don't join at all. If this is a fucking obstacle to what you want to become sexually,
right?
Why is my tax dollars responsible for this? Like, why should I be?
And I can see the downside because I'm sure that surgery. I'm sure getting your dick cut off has got to be some kind of lengthy recovery process.
Oh yeah.
So now, not only have you cost X amount of dollars for the surgery, but now you're laid up because your dick gone. And
right. And depending on where you work,
and now you're on
may not be around in the section.
Leave from fucking 6 months to however long it takes to heal up.
Think about this though. Why not? If I'm thinking, I'm not saying they all would do this, but get the surgery and then do some crazy shit to then get kicked out. Like, you were literally opening the door for that. And I'm not saying that, look, if a person wants reassignment surgery, I'm all for it.
That's their prerogative.
So you would say that if you get reassignment surgery, you should have to re-up and extend or something?
Well,
they're making them, they have to get it before they come in.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You would actually have to get it before, and literally, that should not be the responsibility of a person's tax dollars.
Right.
Period. There's a lot more shit we could actually be spending it on.
But what if the individuals are fit to serve? Because like it's a certain percentage of people that are actually fit to even be in the military.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So as far as the ASVAB scores, your fitness, and your background checking and stuff like that, if these people are fit to serve, should we turn them away because of?
Or how about they just give them like some kind of voucher, like do your 4 years.
When you get out, you can get this.
The surgery.
Okay.
Rather
would
than
make sense.
actually doing it while you're in. Like that shit is crazy. To me.
You have to leave on an honorable discharge. I would be all for that.
Exactly. You served. You're not taking tax dollars.
Right.
You've actually gave to the country rather than taking from. Period. That's all I'm saying.
That would be the best policy right there, Mike. You just solved it.
Yeah, straight up. I'm Einstein over there.
So you still trying to talk? You've already solved it.
No,
it's solved, man.
We are, but I wanted to get on this.
Okay.
Athletes. Okay. Did you see those 2 track runners?
Okay, yeah.
I have not seen them.
Did you,
Yeah, that they broke like some state records and stuff like that for females. Yep.
And see, I think that's bullshit.
I do too.
Because
there's an MMA fighter now.
Yeah, that's bullshit too.
Knocking the shit.
And a boxer.
You can look like a woman, but regardless, your genetic makeup is a man.
Yeah.
You're naturally stronger than a chick, and faster than a woman. So how is that fair for you to have the strength and ability of a man, but look like a woman.
Why? Why are you
legal
competing
now to hit your wife though?
Right.
I mean, if you allow this,
Hey.
it should be legal
It
to
should not-
hit your
yeah.
wife. I mean, literally.
It should be like two dudes fighting. Well, you are two dudes fighting.
exactly.
Well,
Period. If that's
it's
what-
really illegal to hit anybody. Let's be real.
right.
It really is. But
But I mean,
I
what I'm
know
saying
what
is
you mean.
the
I see what you mean.
stigma-
It shouldn't
me-
be spousal abuse.
Right.
It should be
I
just
see
two
what you-
motherfuckers
I see what you're
duking
saying.
it out.
Domestic disturbance.
duking it out.
Exactly.
Right, because I mean, two gay guys can get into it, and it can be domestic too.
It is
two
domestic.
lesbians can do it. I mean,
But
so
this turns into nah, bro.
I know what you're talking about. Like the majority of it is male, female, male hits the female. Someone's going to jail.
That's what you're
mainly
promoting.
him.
though.
I understand.
In
that.
a way, you're promoting that. This, like, literally, like, does that mean that now, like, say I got beef with a female, I can go buy a wig, say at that moment,
And
yeah,
whip my ass?
I identify as a woman, just start teeing off on it? Would that be acceptable? Should I still have the stigma
It's like-
of being a person that beats women? If at that moment I
Well,
identify
but living,
as a female,
living as a woman is different
that
from
no,
this
guy,
moment. I'm a woman.
This guy just broke the world record for deadlifting.
Right, but they're
you see
they're
that?
living as.
He wasn't though. He literally basically that day went to the gym.
Now that's not right.
No, but he was proving a point. That's what I'm trying to say. He deadlifted the shit.
The females.
Female shit. And he said, at this moment, I identified as a woman. You have to put me in the record book. By law. Think about that.
And that's like
Yeah.
It goes back to the whole North Carolina bathroom thing.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I mean, was it wrong really? Because like, how many dudes? And there's some like
Yeah, you have to watch out for that. You have to
multiple
watch out for
guys
that.
that you
Right.
see all the time on the news who are going
Yeah.
under stalls, taking pictures, or
Right.
hiding a phone somewhere.
Right.
But now you're giving them access,
Free reign
to
because
say
they
I
say
identify as a woman, and
Yeah.
they go in the fucking women's bathroom.
right.
With a wig, goatee, and a trench coat. That's how I
Beating ain't meat in the fucking stall while you sitting there taking a shit.
Well, I think in a situation like that, we'll see if we can fix another issue.
All right.
A situation like that, we should hire individuals, off-duty cops, something.
Monitor the bathroom.
Someone should be there. Like if I identify as a female and I'm a male and I'm going to the bathroom, I should have to go in the bathroom with somebody for the protection of others that may be in there, and also for my protection.
And
It
just
should
because there's-
have to be there.
There could be kids, like teenage
Right.
girls in the bathroom, and now you got this 30-year-old fucking scruffy ass dude with a
Going
wig
in.
on,
Right.
going in and act like he's
using
got to be
his
the
rights or manipulating him. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that like the dude taking deadlifting that way is good. I'm not saying that. But for him to do
Right.
that,
That was more of him proving a point type.
like
deal.
this is all bullshit. Like you literally had that one the one young lady, the wrestler. I mean, one young lady.
Was it a man or
It was a man.
you can't do that?
She was given she won this month like 2 wrestling championships. Just
if you're gonna be a transgender athlete, and let's say wrestling, you should have to wrestle 2 weight classes above what you actually are. So
Right.
therefore, if like I'm 205, if I'm a wrestler, fucking chick, she gotta be 260. Like it's got to be some kind of.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Because you can't just toss around 260. I don't give a fuck. Who,
Yeah, yeah.
you strong as fuck.
Hey, you better be training for that.
It's got to be
Vaughn,
somebody-
half
You sure you
wrestling.
got it, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, man, don't let her whoop your ass now. I'm just
But it
saying.
goes to like even the Miss America shit with the what was it, Miss Philippines or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
was
yeah.
actual
Man.
man. Like
It was like Thailand, Philippines, something
that
like
shit.
that, yeah.
Is that fair?
What did you just tell the like you literally just told every woman on that stage you were not woman enough, but this man somehow was able to,
To beat you out.
Right.
at your own shit.
And something you were born at, he was able to beat you.
Yeah.
That's
It totally disrespects the real,
the essence of everything.
Yeah,
You're
you're
clearly
right.
destroying the essence
Right.
of sports.
it's an unwritten rule of, it shouldn't be. That's something that
Honestly,
shouldn't be touched.
Just think about some fucking narcissist that basically just wants a belt, IBC belt or something like that. It's like, you know what?
Or a presidency.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like that movie Joanna Man, where
Yeah.
he was a male basketball player and he got kicked out the league, and he wanted
Came
to
back
play
as a
so
woman.
bad that he came back as a woman,
And
was
was dominating.
dominating. Yeah, but he knew I'm a man doing this, like.
There was the difference though. At that point, he actually knew what he was doing the whole time. These people actually
Right, but either way, it's
Yeah.
he's fulfilling his personal selfish goal over.
So you're gonna have those people. Same thing with the bathroom shit. You're gonna have these people that have their own personal wants in mind, not
Right.
based on these are the laws. Or I really feel like a woman. You're opening the door for this, actually. So I think honestly, the Olympics has it where I think it's 10 months on estrogen. So if a man basically wants to jump to a woman's sport, he has to take 10 months of hormone therapy before he can actually be guaranteed.
But does that make you any less stronger?
Right.
If you continue to lift and work out.
Right.
That's
Because you have to train for the Olympics.
Exactly.
You can't just sit on your couch like 10 months.
I mean, what is
I'm
estrogen-
ready now, so
does
10
estrogen
months
make
now.
you- Does estrogen make a woman weak?
No.
So how is it? I don't get it. Is it other than giving
Because you now have the hormones.
titties
of
and shit,
What,
like-
Yeah.
what the difference between a man and a woman is not only just the testes, it's the hormones, testosterone, estrogen. So once I
So
have a level
the
of
estrogen
estrogen,
cancels out your testosterone?
cancel out your testosterone, and it also basically, in a way, labels you as a woman. Men have estrogen and
Right.
majority testosterone. They're saying if you can basically just flip
Flip
that
it.
shit up, we can actually classify you as a woman.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's still.
I can't. Find it hard to believe a dude won't be stronger than. Like he'll lose his, like just be fucking weak as fuck.
And not only
also.
that though, just imagine if I don't have a daughter, but say my daughter want to play sports, and then I'm looking on the mat with some guy with
Right.
chest hair,
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? And locks,
So
put
how's
my
that-
daughter in a headlock, and I
How's
can't.
that work as far as like team sports?
Nothing. And we're not being exactly. I'm not being homophobic, xenophobic, none of this. I'm just my view.
Does the man get to take showers in the women's locker room with the other girls,
Yeah, that's
even though he identifies as a woman?
It's crazy.
yeah, that's
Like that shit worries me, man.
right.
Like,
and if you're gonna go through that, like, well,
Some
whoa,
people
no,
may
no,
have-
you
some
can't
people-
take a shower with them because
Yeah.
you have male parts. Then you understand that there's obviously something wrong with this
Yeah,
situation.
some people have good intentions and they like the rules, the laws that they're trying to come up with are to help those, but there's
Maybe
there's
just
way
have-
more assholes out there.
Yeah, maybe just have a new category, the transgender category. You know, maybe have that.
We
But
just
they
solved
don't. They don't want a transgender. Like I
Oh,
heard
yeah.
something about a third bathroom. They don't want that shit because they want to be able to go into whatever they identify as.
Identify if you're transgender. Identify as transgender.
I just never understood that, man. Like that just makes no sense.
But that's what I'm saying. You are, by saying I'm transgender, you are identifying as transgender.
But you don't.
Well, no,
it's
no.
like you want to be transgender, but then at the same time you want to be what you
They stopped
see
using
yourself as.
the word though.
Yeah.
So they don't call themselves.
Don't
I'm
call
a
them
woman.
that.
I'm a
They're a
woman.
woman or
Yeah.
they're a man.
And in Canada right now, bro, you can actually using that term, you can actually be fined for not calling somebody who identifying with another sex, even though you may look at him like this is clearly a man. You literally be.
So if
fined.
I'm a male, which I am, and I do a crime, can I say, well, hey, I'm identifying as a female, so they got to lock me up in a
If you
women's
have a
I've been
sex
thinking
change, you do go to the women's shit.
I've been thinking about this.
But even if I don't, and I just identify as a female.
If you haven't transitioned, they keep you with the gay people.
Well, I just say this: when you get locked up, there are certain rights that they take from you. That should be one of them. You are male. I don't care that you trans. I don't care that you feel you identify as a female.
But
You're a
what if they
man.
transition,
You're
though?
going with the rest of these dudes.
What if they're fully transitioned?
But
That'd be a fuck fest going. That
If they're
motherfucker
fully
get raped.
transitioned, don't go to jail.
That's a goddamn orgy.
Well, check it out. If you do that, don't go to jail. Don't get locked up. Well, I can't even say that because I know shit
I
happens.
literally, this is gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound.
Nah, I think I know where you're going with, Mike. I think I know what you're
I
going
was
with.
thinking to myself like, yo, all right. How about somehow I can actually cryogenically freeze my parts, get them cut off, right? Identify as a female, rob a bank,
Go to women's prison.
go to women's prison, serve my time in a nice, clean facility, and go home, get a reattached and good.
I don't know about nice and clein. I know some people
I
who
mean,
work there. They say the women are really
filthy.
filthy.
Can have brains, though. Man can have brains, you know what I'm saying?
What be the point though?
I don't have no dreams
What
of
be the
going
point
to
of
a
that,
women's
Mike?
prison.
I don't go to a man's prison, bro.
Nobody does.
I don't want to go to no prison.
Right, but I'm saying if I had
But I don't want to go to a women's prison.
No,
either. I don't want to go to a prison.
It's
Period.
not like all the women in there are attractive.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I want to have this.
There's a lot of women
Yeah.
there that look like Rick Ross.
But they gonna want what you don't have. They like to eat. They like to eat too.
Yeah.
Like I watched this show, Love After Lockup. Or Love-
Yeah.
A lot of them women that come out of jail lesbians anyway. They come out with having girlfriends and the dude that they trying to get with.
Right.
That is
But the dude can't accept the fact that she likes women now. wants to bring the woman into a relationship. He don't
Well, because usually,
he's too.
oh no, I've been in that situation. Literally, usually the woman does not want to actually share. Like,
Oh no, this chick did.
she wanted both of them. Oh,
She wanted to be. They worked together. They're primaries, and then the girl would come in and be both.
nah,
Well, it could be. It also could be for the show, though. You know, They want to be like, look, we don't want to make this
What
show.
man on earth?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. I mean, we're all.
Hey, Michael, we're gonna pay you an extra amount of dollars for you to say you're the one who doesn't want to. How much? Okay.
But no. Before we go, we got the time, right? I just want to say it's not. Trust everything we're saying is just thought. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the mind. But there's no hate as a social.
There's no need to preface or like.
Right. No. We give it to them raw, uncut. You take it how you take it.
Commander in chief of the fucking country can say what the fuck he wants to, and still seems to have a job.
Hell yeah, fuck that. I recant that statement. No, but at the same time, I do say what I say with love.
There's no malice intent with anything that we're saying.
Right. But I do want to throw one last thing in here real quick. I'm gonna try to make this as brief as I can.
This is social media therapy.
No, this is therapy. This is therapy. I just want to say, once again, watching some. This wasn't the real. I don't know what the hell I was watching. I was watching some TV show, and they were talking about they were really pumping therapy. And I'm not against therapy. I've actually had therapy myself, and I thought it was a great thing, and it helped out. So I'm not anti-therapy. Do that. It helps people. But one thing. The people that were talking about therapy were talking about the great thing about therapy is they said it was a great outlet for communication. You know, like you can talk about things that you didn't know about yourself or whatever. And I started getting to thinking about that, and I'm like, well, I think therapy is good, but I don't think therapy would be needed as much if we just communicated a lot of these things from the beginning. I think that's why people end up needing therapy a lot of the time, is because stuff that they should have said in the very beginning, they never said. So then you gotta go pay someone to tell you, oh, Vaughn, you like this, or Mike, this is what you had in your past, or whatever, or this is what you expect out of her. We should do that shit in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Instead of
I've seen like on 600 Pound Life on the I watch this shit a lot.
we watch a lot of shows.
These people overeat because and they even say it, they're addicted to food because it covers them because they were abused as a child or
bullied or something.
they know exactly what the fuck happened. They can't cope, so that's why they eat. So if you notice, I think the hardest part is being able to speak up and say what the fuck is wrong.
Right.
A lot of people don't know how to do it. They just keep shit in, end up doing some kind of vice, either crack, food, meth.
Right. I think you see that in a lot of these environments, society, especially in ours.
You can't be don't be a black male and you need to go see a fucking therapist.
Let's be real, because you better not express your feelings.
You better even fucking cry.
Right.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do those things. But it's like literally like we're conditioned for that. I'm not trying to make a distinction between the two, but if a white man walks away from a fight, the fact that he's thinking about this is a
He's the
bad
bigger
idea.
person.
If I walk away from a fight,
Yeah.
right. So that kind of tells you right then and there, we're not allowed to kind of like express how we are emotionally.
You're right. But I'm talking about like I'm talking about mainly in a relationship type atmosphere. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just gonna, for the example, male and female. A male and a female, in my opinion, what better time to discuss a lot of these things than in the beginning of the relationship when there's the euphoria of it. You know, in the beginning of a relationship, they can't do nothing wrong. Right. You look past a lot. They can't do shit wrong.
You're willing to overlook shit, but the longer you with somebody, like.
Right, and that seems to be the point where we have to end up talking and having communication and therapy and shit like that. Why not do a lot of that shit in the begining? I know it's ass backwards. It's not what we're meant to do. And I know we're phony. We're so phony in the beginning. No matter what, I don't care what nobody says. We're all phony in the beginning. You don't feel like they need to know a lot of the shit, because half the time you're probably thinking, I don't even know where this is going anyway. Right. Exactly. You know, but in the beginning should be when we talk about most of this stuff, and I think it would could prevent a lot more therapy in the end, or a lot more bad breakup, domestic abuse, domestic violence, just shit in the end. You know what I'm saying? If we were really more open up front.
I totally agree with that.
But people don't know how to communicate.
Right.
Communication is a problem.
But because we're not told to. I mean, think about it. You get dressed, you go to the gym, you get dressed, you get tattoos, you get earrings, you get certain clothes, you get certain cars, you get a certain house, a certain job, and you get all this shit just so you don't have to say two shit to nobody, and they already know who you are. You post a bunch of shit on Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, just so people can know what you're about.
But that's
even if that's not
you're
really
feeding them a false image.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's why we don't know how to talk to nobody.
That's crazy to prevent somebody from actually.
When someone talks to you,
don't
they
want
should have
them to
already
know
read
who
your
you are.
resume.
They don't want them to know who you are.
Right.
Who you really
they-
are.
For you to come to me, you should already know what the fuck I'm about. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta open my mouth and explain to you, get out. I don't want you. That's a problem. That's an issue. You know what I'm saying?
You should be able to have a conversation with somebody and know what they're about by that
Right.
conversation.
Right. And not be judgmental because while you're judging them, there's shit that you don't want them to know. They know they're gonna judge you. So just get the shit out in the beginning. Right. The community, we're backwards with these relationships. We need to fix them.
So therapy as far as relationships, though, not like
Right. I guess that's the
health.
main thing.
But
Yeah.
that does boil down to mental health.
Yeah.
Being able to express yourself. The truth of the matter is, I remember asking a therapist tell me that basically everything that you kind of like or you keep on the inside that you don't want out causes turmoil. So what you're saying is basically you can avoid turmoil by actually getting all of it out.
Right.
But when you don't, you create the turmoil within yourself.
I keep a lot of shit. But
Right.
to me now it's because of my age, or not even my age. I don't know how to be tactful at times.
Yeah.
Like if I want to say some shit, it's gonna come out.
That's real.
It's gonna come out worse than what my intentions were.
Right.
So I
Very
just-
cold.
But and that's what I'm saying. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. That there's no problem. There's no issue with having therapy for you to learn how to deal with that, where you can bring it out in a way, right? In a way that other people can.
Angrily.
But it's expressive.
No. But what I'm saying is I understand.
Myself
I
without
understand
doing
you.
damage, irreversible damage.
Right.
Okay.
But the fact that you understand damage comes means that you care about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Therapy is great for that. But
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be for everyone. Don't need therapy. Everyone don't need therapy as much as they think they do.
Honestly, man, that's a beautiful thought. Problem is, bro, we live in a very superficial society, shallow, bro. So you're not. And every conversation I have, unless I've known you for quite some time, it's gonna be on some bullshit. You remember when I basically didn't actually have a filter? I
Yeah.
said exactly what was
Yeah.
on my mind
Yeah.
when I thought.
Yeah, but first
And it was at the
couple months-
wrong damn time, Mike. You was in
You
a place where you couldn't have do that shit. You know, you couldn't do that. But now you can.
I felt like I needed to say it then, so I said it.
Right.
I remember, you remember the
Yeah.
situations I got myself in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Eventually, and a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people, I think, as children, they start that way.
Yeah.
You express yourself without being frightened by
Yeah,
the
there's children don't have filters.
Right. Children and old people.
Right. And then eventually you start creating it due to the fact that society starts
By the
applying
norms, you start to learn what's acceptable and how to
express yourself.
Nobody wants to be offensive like that, man. Nobody wants to offend.
politically correct.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you shouldn't. I agree with the freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech shouldn't inhibit me from getting where I need to be at.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
Your belief, you can be racist as you fucking want to, but your belief should not stop me from having my life lived.
Right.
It should not impede me in any way possible of getting to where I need to be at.
Right. That's the main takeaway of people who are open-mouthed and just free speechers. Yeah, that's the main takeaway. Still understand you can't keep everybody in a box and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. But there's more to talk about. I mean, social media, some other stuff that we can talk about, man. But we're gonna have to put a pin in it and do it for another show. But I do want to send a shout out to my man Leroy Smedley, man. He a couple weeks ago I got to do something that was really different that I'd never been able to do in the past. You know, it was kind of controversial. I won't talk about it right now. But it was kind of controversial, but at the same time, it was a historical moment. So I appreciate him for that, man. He's a first time listener. You know, for anybody who's listening, if you're a first time listener or you've listened since the beginning, keep your But anyways, I kind of lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was at, but I'm just saying this. Thank you for the listeners. That's what I was talking about. Thank you for the listeners, the first time listeners, the old time listeners. We appreciate everybody. I got nothing else. Y'all got anything anything else y'all want to say?
Hey man, I say all this with love, man, for entertainment purposes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't trying to, you know.
No one should be hurt by it. If they are, I mean, you know, that's personal.
Yeah, but because I'm gonna continue to talk the way I talk. But at the same time, just know that, you know, I don't give a fuck about your social, you know, family, socioeconomic status.
And if you do have an issue, talk to us.
It's all, we're all.
Hit us on Twitter. Hit us on
up.
Facebook. Yeah. If y'all know us personally, hit us up personally. You know, talk to us. That's what this is all about, communication.
That's it.
That's all I got. Ron, you got anything else?
Nope, I have nothing at all.
All right, another show. Just Us Show. If you love us, tell a friend. And if you hate us,
Tell every damn body you know.
Yeah.
we out.